What's up, y'all? I am back. I am back for another video. We are here to continue Jet Li Mondays, so it's probably. I think this will probably be it. No, it won't. I think there's gonna be like maybe one more movie. I think it's one of his earlier ones. It came out like in '98, called I think Contract or something like that. I'll look for it. So probably after that, though. I think what I'll do is after Jet Li, I'll probably just start doing Jackie Chan. I'll probably just start doing some of his older stuff, obviously, and then some of his more mainstream movies, minus Rush Hour, since we already did that. So we'll just probably move on to Jackie Chan. Um, Tomorrow I will be reviewing another 48 Hours, which is the second movie. Um, and then Wednesday will be Golden Child, and then Thursday, I'll do a video of Thanksgiving, but I'll probably just do it early. I'll review Rambo 1. We're going to review Rambo. We're going to start Rambo. Since we did Stallone's, his biggest franchise is Rocky. Since we got done with that, I figured it makes sense to just do his second biggest franchise, which is Rambo. So we'll start those on Thursday, and then Friday we'll do Rambo 2. So that'll be the plan. I'm drinking a Golden Road. But other than that, I am reviewing the movie The Forbidden Kingdom, which came out back in 2008, starring Jet Li and Jackie Chan. This movie, I remember seeing commercials for it at the time, but didn't watch it at the time. I watched it like a year or two later. It was when they started playing it. Like, it was on one of those movie channels like Stars, HBO, not Cinemax, something else, Max, or one of those channels. So I remember liking it, but I only really remembered the kung fu and like the martial arts. I hadn't watched it in years, so I rewatched it today, and man, it's a pretty good movie. Very interesting. It's not my favorite Jet Li movie, but it is awesome to see him and Jackie Chan together. That is one of those I kind of wish happened early on, in Jet Li's career. But it was a fun movie. I think I said this earlier to somebody. I think it has the Last Action Hero kind of feel, like it's mine. He doesn't get transported to a movie, but this kid, Jason, played by Michael Angarano, who I'm trying to see if I think I remember him from like other films and stuff. Oh, he was in Sky High. Okay, I'm remembering him now. So he was in like that. So he was the main character. He's this like kung fu fan who has to return this staff. He goes to this like martial like this um like a pawn shop where he buys kung fu DVDs, and I like the homages to like Bruce Lee and stuff like that. And he gets transported to this kingdom, and he has to return the staff to um he gets transported to ancient China, and that's what I mean. Last Action Hero kind of feel like. Even though it's not a movie, he gets transported to this world because he's a big martial arts fan, and he has to return this staff to fulfill a prophecy. And that's basically the movie. He goes through and travels. It's a very fun movie. It's not my favorite. It does not say it doesn't have a kiddie feel to it, but it's definitely. I don't know if I would call it geared towards kids, because Jackie Chan does. His character literally is a drunk, and he's doing drunk kung karate, drunk fist, which is fucking hilarious. Jackie Chan and Jet Li together were great. Even though Jet Li doesn't show up till like a little bit, like almost midway. He doesn't. It is more of a Jackie Chan film. I would agree with you on. I would agree with that. Like, I was talking about this with somebody earlier, one of my friends on the phone, and yeah, it does have it is more of a Jackie Chan movie, but still, Jet Li's a big part of it. And if anything, he's also the great hero in the end. Um, he's Silent Monk, but then he also is the Monkey King. So the villain was okay, very they're very one note. They own this kingdom, and then we have like this witch character. It's very simple story, and I think at the end of the day, that's fine. It doesn't always have to be amazing. So, as usual, to kick off the review. So the film opens with Jet Li as the Monkey King wiping out. I think they were called the Jade Army. I think, if I remember what the movie said. And you see him use his staff, and then uh, our main character, Jason, wakes up. He lives in South Boston. He goes to this pawn shop because he's a big kung fu movie fan. And then after he talks to some girl, and then some hooligans mess with him. I'll admit this part of the film I just did not care for. Maybe it is just because the dude who was bullying him looked like he was 40. Like, he looked like he was either mid 30s or 40s. I'm like, this old ass dude picking on a fucking college kid. I'm like, what are we doing? If you were gonna do that, they should have made him a bit younger. Maybe if you're gonna do the bullying thing, they should have been younger. If you're gonna do that, it just was distracting seeing this old ass dude pick on this college kid. So they order him to help them rob the staff. I mean, before that, he sees the staff, but the old guy, tells him, no, like, kind of says it's not for you. So, back to the scene I was talking about. The hooligans order Jason to help them break in the pawn shop. They try to break in. The old man tries to get the staff. And then one of the gang member, the assailants, ends up shooting the old man. Then, because Jason was a witness, they chase him on the up of the roof. He then gets the staff, and he gets pulled into the. I guess the staff is some kind of basically gateway. So he gets sent to ancient China. He wakes up in ancient China. Then he gets attacked by armed soldiers. They see the staff. They try to retrieve it from him. But then this is where we're introduced to Luyon, which is Jackie Chan's character. He's an immortal. And basically, his elixir is alcohol. So basically, more alcohol, how stronger he gets. It's fucking great. Jackie Chan is great in this. He's one of my favorite characters. I mean, obviously besides Jet Li, but I really do dig his character in this. It's fun. That's what I mean when I said it has a last action hero feel. Him getting transported to this world as this big martial arts fan. He now transported to ancient China, and in this martial arts world. The only difference is it's not a movie, but it has that similarity to it. But so Jackie Chan takes him to I think like this restaurant, so he can get more liquor, and he tells them about the rivalry between the Monkey King and the fucking warlord, who's the villain of the movie. He's basically the big villain of the movie. He tells him how the warlord basically manipulated or deceived the Monkey King, who his powers through his staff. He tells him to drop it so he can use his fists, but he ends up using his powers, and he ends up turning the Monkey King into stone. Then Jade's soldiers show up looking for the staff, and then we get this like big. Oh no! Before that, we get told about the Seeker, who's gonna return and free the king. So you do have not just like it has this adventure movie feel to it too, and I do like it. It's like I said, not my favorite Jet Li movie. I do prefer more of the like action, and maybe part of me would have preferred it just be set in ancient China the whole time, but whatever. Because I actually think they did a good job with the setting, making it look like it's the past and stuff like that. I just, when I first watched it, I rewatched it, I didn't remember the him being set. I didn't remember that aspect, to be honest. I remember when I was thinking, I thought it was just gonna be literally set in ancient China, and Jackie Chan and Jet Li are just ancient warriors and they're like fucking shit up, which they do, but it's also set in the present and it has that that taking to the world aspect, taking this character to another world. I didn't remember that when I first rewatched it. And I'm fine with it. I just didn't remember it. So, after telling the story to Jason, Jade soldiers show up. They see the staff they demanded. He fakes like they're gonna give it to him, and then we get this big kind of fight scene, which is pretty fun. A pretty fun, elaborate scene. Jackie Chan once again is probably up there. Like him and Tom Cruise are like the king of stunts, man. Jackie Chan just does his own stunts, and it just is natural. And he does a good job of actually feeling like he feels like a drunk warrior. So we learn Luyon is an immortal who can stay alive. Then they get help. The soldiers end up, almost capturing them, and then they get help from this girl, Golden Sparrow. Golden Sparrow. Ooh, she's okay. There are points I do feel like she's just kind of there, but she's fine. She doesn't. It's not like, she doesn't. She's just there, and sometimes that's fine. So she helps save them, and then throughout the film, Jason wants to learn kung fu or martial arts. We learn from Golden Sparrow that her family was murdered by the warlord, and she wants to kill him. And then he, back at with the warlord, he learns of the staff and he hires the witch Mi Chang, who's like the secondary kind of main villain. She's decent. I think she does I will say this. She does a good job of playing an unlikable bitch, because in the end of the film, when I get to it, I do cheer when she fucking dies. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, bye, bitch. So I'm not gonna lie. If you do that, you do a good job of playing a bad guy. The main warlord guy, though, was, I think he could have did a bit more. He, to me, was just there. Yeah, he deceives the Monkey King, but that's kind of it. We don't really see him do anything. I felt like, if anything, the witch was more of like, we see her actually do shit. I think like the fight with him and Jet Li in the end is decent. It's just, I think there could have been more. But so while they're traveling to the mountains, we run into the Silent Monk, which is Jet Li's character, who steals the staff initially. And man, this is probably my favorite scene in the whole movie. Him and Jackie Chan's fight is so fucking badass. It just, I'm like, I was already thinking, like, even though I did watch it, I always like, yeah, they're gonna have a fight. They have to. To see these guys finally go at it, I would have loved. I just kind of wish they did more together, because I think this is the only movie that they did together. I could be wrong, but I would love to see them done more, because their fight scene in this is fucking great. Like the choreography and how they're both so trained, and basically they both in a way do their own stunts. So just to see them go at it for a bit was pretty badass. So they, because they think initially that he's trying to steal the staff for the fucking warlord, but it turns out no, he's trying to return the staff. So they end up working together, and the monk ends up leading them through the so basically while this is happening, you get a little bit of a montage of Jason learning martial arts, which I'll admit that those scenes are pretty fun. Has a Karate Kid kind of feel to it in those scenes. So probably did it, if anything. I think that whole scene right there where he's learning from both of them, is a better Karate Kid remake than the shitty Karate Kid remake we got. So then they end up nearly reaching the mountain. Then Mi Chang arrives with their army. And we get this big fight scene, and it's actually cool to see Jason learning. He's actually now able to fight now. He's not just getting thrown around. So we get this cool fight scene. Jet Li was just wrecking him, like I said, Jet Li and Jackie Chan, just seeing them both fight together is fucking badass. So they manage to escape, but Ni Chang uses an arrow which does wound Liu. So they got to take him to um they take refuge at a monastery, and the monks are trying to say like we can't really help. So they make it seem like, Jackie Chan's gonna die, even though he isn't, but they make it seem like he is. So Jason decides he's gonna take the staff and return it to get the elixir that was stolen by a warlord, basically for a swap. And the warlord it, was already offering it to the witch, so they have to fight to the death. And yeah, Jake basically gets bodied in this. He does handle himself for a second, but yeah, he gets bodied. But he was about to get killed. Jason was about to get killed. Then Jackie Chan, not Jackie Chan, the monk and Golden Sparrow show up. We get this big kind of fight scene. Then we see the monks bring Luyon, and then Jason's able to get the elixir and give it to Jackie Chan, and now Jackie Chan's better. Then we get a fight scene between the Warlord against Silent Monk, Golden Sparrow against the Witch, and Luyon and Jason taking on like the rest of the army. And we get some pretty good choreography in this final fight. Then we get the fight scene between Luyon and the Witch. She tries to use her hair to throw him over the cliff. She gets thrown overboard, but then tries to use her hair, like I mentioned, to grab him. But he fucking uses his blade and cuts. And I was like, bah, bitch, when she fell. So, that's when you do a good job. When you make me say things like that, you know, I think they did a good job. And then, while the warlord is fighting the monk, Jason manages to get the staff to the Monkey King trapped in the stone. It breaks and it turns, and basically the king is freed, and basically Silent Monk basically rejuvenates into the Monkey King. We get So it turns out the Monkey King was Jet Li the whole time. I kind of am like, that is Jet Li, just because I could tell. And we get a decent fight in the end. The fight was kind of quick. Warlord gets killed when, well, before that, Warlord is trying to get. Golden Sparrow has like this weapon that could kill the Warlord. Basically, she tries to get him with it, but he ends up killing her. And Jason takes the thing and stabs him with it, and the Warlord dies. And then he fulfills the prophecy, and he asks to return home. Gets sent back to his time, fucks up the hooligans, and then meets a girl who looks pretty much like Golden Sparrow, but she's like somebody else. So that's kind of cool. It's a fun little movie. I think not my favorite of the Jet Li movies, but it's definitely a fun one. To see him and Jackie Chan together has a nice adventure feel. Very, like I said, Last Action Hero, which I do love that movie. I like movies like that where someone who's like a fan gets transported to that world. I always do kind of like stories like that. I mean, the villains were meh. I mean, the lady was decent, but I like, and that's fine. They didn't have to be over the top. They served their purpose. I like the set pieces. Um, I think they did a good job, like I said, with the set pieces, the imagery, the martial arts was really good. The choreography was great. I liked most of the characters. Jason was an okay protagonist. He's not amazing, but I think he did an okay job, and you kind of feel bad for him. I could skip over the bullying shit. They should have just been dudes trying to rob him or something instead of going for their just bullies. It just did not work. Like this old ass dude pick him. But you take that out of it. This is a really good movie. I definitely would recommend it. If you want just like a fun action movie that goes for like, if I remember, like It's like under 2 hours. Um, it's like an hour and 40, I think. So it's not too bad. It's not too long. So definitely would recommend. But other than that, I would give this a 7 out of 10. I'm leaning towards the 7 out of 10. Tomorrow I'm reviewing the movie Another 48 Hours, so we'll be doing the second 48 Hours movie. It's not as good from what I remember, but I remember thinking it was okay, and it's an okay watch, and it's cool seeing Eddie Murphy do Eddie Murphy stuff, but it's not like as good as the first one, but it's fine. Um, but yeah, so that'll be tomorrow. But other than that, I'm gonna cheers to this movie. Definitely would recommend just to see, just alone, just watch this fight scene between Jet Li and Jackie Chan. Just for that scene alone, just watch the movie. But yeah, fuck Warner Brothers, fuck Disney, fuck La Bitch James, fuck Kaepernick, fuck Joy Reid, such a piece of shit, fuck Kevin Smith, and fuck Joe Biden and his shit and his shitty ass administration. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.